I know the goal. I know the secret route. Secret route where? Because she is guiding path to the divine, to the path to the divine. I know that route. I know the secret. I know the goal. I know the secret route. I have studied the map of the invisible worlds. I am the battle set, the journey star. Yes, look at the star and follow his directions and move, move, move. Journey star. I have studied the map of the invisible worlds. Now, the invisible worlds, the maps of these invisible worlds are beyond the reach of Google. You cannot, Google cannot trace these invisible world, maps of the universe. They cannot draw, you see. Well, we have got very detailed map. Our location is also shown on the Google map, Shalva Boots, where it is there. It is there on the Google map. So if you ask for Shalva Boots, it will show you the directions. But this is not an invisible world. Invisible worlds. I am the battle set, the journey star. But the great obstinate world resists my word. And the crookedness and evil in man's heart is stronger than reason, profounder than the pit. So that is the quality of our crookedness, of the evil which we house. And the crookedness and evil in man's heart. Of course, this is man's heart. And the crookedness and evil in man, not in woman's heart, is stronger than reason. It cannot be in woman's heart because she has no reason. You see. Profounder than the pit. And a malignancy of hostile powers puts craftily back the clock of destiny. Turn it back. Turn it back. The crookedness of man's heart and evil, which can put craftily back the clock of destiny. This is what we have witnessed during the Holocaust. What real havoc it had created. Millions of people were just burned in fire like that, for no cause, for no cause. That is the crookedness, that is the evil in man's heart. Man has lent himself to that. The Holocaust is the most glaring example of recent times, you see, Holocaust. And Shebendu says, had Hitler succeeded in his march of victory, that would have put the clock of destiny back by 50,000 years. The civilization would have been pushed back by 50,000 years. The clock of destiny would have been pushed back to that kind of the vital world would have sunk, from which it would have taken 50,000 years for us to come to this state. He says the clock of destiny would have been pushed back by 50,000 years had Hitler succeeded in his attempt. Pushed craftily back the clock of destiny, and mightier seems than the eternal will. Luckily, it is seems, it is not. But it looks that it is mightier than the eternal will. It happened. It looked that Hitler is going to conquer. Hitler is going to overcome the eternal will, but it was not to be so. And we have seen what happened. How the mother cheated him. How the mother cheated him. And that was the fall of Hitler. And mightier seemed than the eternal will. The cosmic evil is too deep to unroot. The cosmic suffering is too vast to heal. Now this is the entire summary of our existence. Evil is too deep, suffering is too vast. This is what we are. Now it is deep and vast simultaneously, which is actually beyond the powers of this Madonna. She herself is unable to tackle this evil and this suffering. She is describing it is too deep. She cannot. Sorry, I am helpless. I can lead you. And then she says, if you a guide who pass me toward the light, if you a save, the mass falls back unsaved. If you a help, the many strive and fail. So, see, only a few can come to the demands of her power and work. Those who can come to those demands, they are saved, they are protected, they are guided. And she can do something for them. She can do something for them. Now, she is talking of only a few who can really come up to this point of expectation, who can come up to this point, only few. And this is only in the world of the inner mind. It is only in the world of the inner mind where she is seated. Higher powers, out of these few, how many can really go to those powers yet? It is kind of getting now filtered, you see. A few have come to this point. Again, of these few, only a few will go here. Only a few will go up there, you see. So that is the entire hierarchy of operation. But my heart, although there are few, she says, but my heart, I harden and I do my work. Because I do my work, because I am charged by God to do His mighty work. Although a few come, I will continue to do my work. I am charged by God to do His mighty work. My heart I harden and I do my work. Slowly the light grows greater in the east. Light, east. Of course, it's not geographical east and light, you see. East is a land where the sun rises. And the sun can rise geographically anywhere. Geographically anywhere. Sun, east, there are of course spiritual suns. The spiritual sun can rise, can light up anywhere. That is the east. So when my sun rises, that is east for me. Where your sun rises, that is east for you. That east of yours may not be the same thing, the east of me. They could be different. Slowly the light grows greater. Well, this is what happens in the morning, the light grows very slowly. And of course, he's talking of L, capital L, the supramental light, the divine light. Slowly it is coming here. Well, man has gone through various stages. He has come up to reason, he will go even beyond that. And the sun will rise suddenly there. Slowly the world progresses on God's road. Slowly the world progresses on God's road. And there is a certain amount of her contribution towards that. There are other powers also playing their role. In this slow march on the God's road, she is doing her part. There are other powers also, they are doing their respective parts. The mother of might, the mother of pity, divine pity, the mother of wisdom, they will also do their part, and slowly it will go on. He seals in my task, it cannot fail. I shall hear the silver swing of heaven's gate when God comes out to meet the soul of the world. What a beautiful line. when God comes out to meet the soul of the world. Monosyllabic line, emphasizing each word when God comes out to meet the soul of the world. Of the world. Or when God, that is an am, comes out, I will read it as spondy, strong, strong. When God comes out to meet the soul of the world. See? That is how we break this scandal. When God comes with a kind of force, spondy, emphasize. So the poetic technique also carries the entire sense that rhythm, sound, they are important in conveying the sense. In conveying the sense. I shall hear the silver swing of heaven's gates. This was in 1947. She even wrote this canto around that time. But now, the silver swing of Heaven's Gate has already opened out on 29 February 1956. I don't know how many heard that silver swing. The mother says of the golden door. And she smashed the door and the light faded down here. I shall hear. She has already heard. It has come. It has happened now. During those 10 years. He seals my task, he cannot fail. I shall hear the silver swing of heaven's gate when God comes out to meet the soul of the world. So this is the story. This is her account. She is presenting to Savitri. This is what I am. This is what I have been doing. I am charged by God to do His mighty work, and I am hearing. Yes, one day God will come. The door will open, and you will enter into this one. You see. Because she says, the road is there, I know all that this is going to happen. Now, in answer to that, she is speaking from the subliminal, below the subconscious. The response is there, man, because this is all happening in the inner world, in the inner country of ours. She spoke, and from the lower human world, an answer, a warped echo met her speech. The voice came through the spaces of the mind. Again, spaces of the mind, you see. He is the mental creature. The voice from the subconscious, the subconscient. It is that who is responding to this Madonna. A warped echo made a speech. The voice came to the spaces of the mind of the dwarf Titan, the deformed chained god, who strives to master his nature's rebel stuff and makes the universe his instrument. This is the Asura who is rising in us, the mental being. Deformed chain god, the dwarf Titan. Now, perhaps the nearest we can see of this description is in Prometheus. The nearest of it we can see in him. It is he who brought the fire to man. It is he who, in the war between the Olympians and the Titans, Titanomachy, Prometheus has stayed away from the war. He did not join his other brothers, Titans. He stayed away from that. And when the Titans were defeated by the Olympians, he was kept there by Zeus because he didn't oppose them. But he was told that remain where you are. He was in love with man. He wanted to do everything for man. He wanted to do everything for man. Prometheus, and Zeus had forbidden him from doing that. In defiance with that, he stole the fire from heaven and gave it to man. And that fire today is in our micro oven, is in the atom bomb also. Now it has come down to that point. It is there in the atom, that fire. It has been now produced in the fire, in the atom itself, that fire. Man has not sufficiently grown spiritually to take possession of such a fire, and therefore all the havoc. And therefore it was kind of premature for Prometheus to have brought down that fire and given to man. But for that defiance, he paid the price. He was chained to the rock, chained to God, chained to the rock. And Zeus eagle would come and eat the liver in the daytime. The night it will be healed, and went on and on and on like that, till Heracles saved him, loosened the chain and freed him. Prometheus unbound at that time. But he has quality of his own. What is the quality of his own? Ego, who claims earth, etc.